So a good hit and stick there by Mac Ellis on his first year in the first end of the tiebreaker game of the 2019 U18 BC Provincial Championships.
So both these teams are coached by competitors and longtime coaches in the game. So Cody Tanaka coaching Team Deane, and Team Duncan is coached by Brad Fenton along with Fuji Mickey. So Brad's a parent here, and Fuji's obviously a grandparent of some of the opposition in the event.
So you mentioned it earlier, Will, about the importance of hitting and sticking, and we're seeing a couple of those now. And that'll be key for both teams as they go on the next couple of ends.
Yeah, there's lots of curl this week, so teams have been adapting as the week's gone on. And well, I know I can speak for the Duncan Wu team. They would have lots of training on this type of ice at Royal City curling club throughout the season, so they'd be used to this. But it would still take some adapting to kind of get used to now seeing teams throw that 10 to 11 second hit week. Teams are throwing a little harder at the start of the week, just because of the curl they were getting. Sorry, our timer just took a break there, so we missed the time on that one.
And then if we make it, it's going to make sure you get times of both hits and draws apparently in this tiebreaker game. So we'll make sure that the timer is on her game. It's Connor Deane with his first.
A little bit of a 9.5 there, a little bit of a rollout, and opportunity here for Alex to throw a draw early. I misspoke earlier too. Eugene throws the third rocks, not the second rocks. So Melissa and I missed the first two rocks of this game clearly.
We're 2 rocks behind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was impressed.
What kind of tournament is that? Hardcore. I should know what that is. Oh, cool.
So you'll see a lot of curl on this ice, those of you that have been watching throughout the week, and a lot of that curl is late. So the break point on this ice is sort of just past that, just past the second hog line, and that was 15-19 to the top 4 foot. So if you get out to the broom and give it to your sweepers, you can really manage the rock down this ice.
So we'll see some heat on this one by Connor Deane. He wants to make sure he hits and rolls out. So he's not going to play around with the weight. That's a great shot. 7-4. Hog to hog.
And we're back here from that short commercial break. So you see that rock just overcurled a little bit there, a little bit probably rotation related. Not a big deal though. Looking like another open end for now here. You might see Connor throw a corner guard if there's a rollout. Earlier in the round robin, Melissa, I believe the score for the Duncan Wu Sato game was 4-3 final, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to look that up, so get the real news, but I don't think this team would be afraid probably to play a couple ends open based on that scoreboard we saw yesterday.
So it looks like another hit and roll out by the Duncan Wu team. So an opportunity here for a corner guard for Connor Deane. And there's Sam Hudson.
Sam, one of the newer players to curling on this team. I think he's in his second year of curling. The other three players here on the Deane team do have multiple provincial experiences under their belts, and Team Duncan Wu have been to the BC Winter Games before. So experience for all these teams, but Duncan Wu's definitely on the younger side of this U18 field this week, so great to see them having an awesome week.
You see the way that the sweepers can carry the rocks with their will. That was a 16-6. They swept it most of the way.
Yeah, it's really good.
So this team has been together since January.
This Duncan Wu team?
No.
Oh.
The Connor Deane team.
The Connor Deane team, yes. Duncan Wu team, on the other hand, have been together for a couple of years now at least.
So Alex is recognizing the corner guard there thrown by Connor Deane's team, so he's going to throw out the center guard, and it looks like we're going to try and get a couple of rocks in play here.
So Alex's goal is to get play towards the middle, clearly, and Connor wants to get play to the wings, and I really like this call to go around the corner guard right away. A lot of teams sometimes go around the center guard there, but it just sort of is a bit of a reactive position, so this is kind of staying proactive and using that corner guard right off the bat.
This is Troy Cowan trying to get around the corner guard. They'd love it above the tee line if possible. 14.75 hog. The weight's pretty great. Just going to slip behind the tee, but what a great shot by Troy.
No.
Team Duncan Wu's going to make a decision here. They could probably see maybe half of that stone well.
Yeah, another option would be to just peel that corner guard and keep things simple. We saw earlier in our last round robin game, a team went around corner guards sort of at this point and end and resulted in a 4-ender. So it's not ever great to go around corner guards without last rock. So I like... sure what the call is here. Looks like it might be a hit and roll or a run back. Nice call.
Get the corner guards plan B. Was that the call?
Yeah, I think they're maybe playing the run back and peel was a good option. So
two options here for Connor. You can obviously go to the side and keep those red stones as far apart as possible, or you can go around the corner guard on the intern side so that as not to prevent any double opportunities. So this is a good call. I don't mind this call at all. He tries to secure his deuce early.
Yeah, and hopefully Troy went to school on that draw he got to throw last end, and should give his the chance for the sweepers to put this one on the tee line for him.
You can see the sweepers indicating that this one has a little bit of extra weight on it.
both these teams take a slightly different approach on how they formed. Connor Deane team, 2 Lower Mainlanders and 2 Islanders, whereas the Duncan Wu team are all sort of from that same regional district or region, Region 11 in the Lower Mainland. So both approaches have proven to work over the years, and it's just great that teams have the options.
So hit and stick here, it looks like it was a little bit tight. They're actually sweeping for a piece, and I don't think they're going to get it, Will. It's going to go right by. Just a little tight out of his hand.
So Connor sort of getting forced into go around the center guard here now because there's nowhere to not leave a double. But he's still maybe committed to leaving a double just because going around that center guard is not really in the end plan, right?
Well, exactly, and that's what he's got to decide. If you go around the center and you ever slip behind the tee line, it's an out for the Duncan Wu team. So right now, by going to one of the sides and creating an opportunity for a double, he's still saying he wants to try and secure the deuce. And he's happy with 2. This is Mac Ellis with his first. Looks like he's got a little extra on this one as well. He's got some curling to do.
Sorry, our timer's just out again,
went to
but
sleep again, so
we're
we'll
gonna wager that one at about 14:45, maybe 14:65. And good shot, chance here for Team Duncan Wu to make a double.
We'll make sure the timer stays awake. We're looking for the double. Maybe a little roll if you can get it.
Threw that really good.
He's close. Gotta curl another inch. Great shot. Really great shot.
It's always nice to make after a miss there, and makes Eugene feel a little better there, I'm sure.
Mac Ellis looking for the intern hit and stick. Just want to make sure that the angles aren't set up for any kind of double either. So I think he had a quick look at that.
No, thank you. I had.
Nice control weight, 9'8".
So if you pick the right weight here, Melissa, you can probably play a couple of shots, and, or at least have a plan B.
Yeah, definitely. The Alex went and looked at the double opportunity right away, and if it doesn't curl enough, they'll play the hit and roll behind the center guard. So some great options here for the Duncan Wu team.
She's got a play that she's doing right now. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so house. Yeah, she's does that. It's big enough. She's on stage or something. Different level. She's done.
Trying to get this one to curl a bit, Will. I'm trying to get a roll. Looks like he threw a little extra weight on it. That was about an 88. Thank goodness our timer's awake and getting some good times for us. It's hard to get good help these days, I tell you.
No, he's a basketball player.
Was he looking for the hit and stick, or?
I think he's just looking for the nose hit, and that'll not really leave a double, and will leave a hit and roll, but it's not the highest percentage shot in the world, so.
It's Connor Deane with his first here in the second end. It's a 0-0 game so far after one. This one's really curling. rings. It was down a bit in weight, Will. It was about a 10.5, probably a little less than he wanted to throw.
So opportunity here for Alex. It's a bit of a new path, so hopefully they get a chance to maybe see this in their pre-game practice, or he's looking just to hit half a rock here, Melissa, or something.
Yep, just half a rock. Even 3/4 will get both.
This team is young, but they are very technically sound and throw the rock hard.
Oh, she hasn't done
Threw that one really well.
And honestly,
Just has a bit half a rock. He's close.
Nice
Great
shot,
shot.
Alex Duncan Loop from Royal City and Port Moody Curling Club.
No effort at a 7.5. Hog to hog. That's pretty nice. So Connor's just going to throw this one through the rings and retain hammer into the third end.
I'm like, you're straight. You're not even. How's your or behind you?
Welcome back to the tiebreaker of the 2019 Team Provincial Championships. We are watching Team Deane versus Team Duncan. It looks like Connor's really trying to get some things going here, Will. Duncan Wu's team threw up a center guard, and Connor ignored it and threw up a corner guard. So we're going to definitely have some rocks to play this.
Absolutely. Teams are committed to their plan, so Duncan Wu's going around that center right off the bat. When you combine both networks we're broadcasting from right now, Melissa, we're up to 22 on the combined Ustream, Ustream and Periscope.
Nice. We're rocking it today. Oh, we're up 9, one more.
We'll keep you posted, everybody.
So the guards are running somewhere between 16 and a half seconds hog to hog, and it was about a 15-4 to top 8 foot. So that just tells you how great this ice is holding up throughout the entire week here at the Montebuque Curling Center.
Sam being asked to go around his corner guard that he just threw up there now. And so far, perfect end for the two leads here to kick things off in number 3. Again, a reminder, it's 8 end games here, 30 minutes of thinking time, 2 timeouts. And nice execution there from
Sam. Both teams definitely have a specific game plan. Alex Duncan is going to, as you say, playing to the center. He would like to force Connor Deane to a single point here in the third end. Connor's got his plan of playing to the wings. And probably on the next rock, we'll maybe see some peels of the center guard.
Another option here, Melissa, would be to go around the corner guard and even full top 8 foot, not behind the T line. Pretty good situation over here already for team Duncan.
Exactly. This one's going to slip back. Looks like his third shot.
So Connor now looks like he's asking for a hit and roll, but it's pretty much fully buried. So okay, just going to ask for a little bit of a tap, I suppose. If you throw tap weight on a rock that you can only see a couple inches of, Will, you can still hit a good chunk of it and just even move it out to the open. The key here is you want to retain your shooter. Exactly. Connor's a young player, but played with Nick Umbach this past year in juniors, getting into the 3-4 game there at the provincial championships, and coached by Cody Tanaka. So lots of wisdom probably in some of these calls you'll see tonight. So Troy Cowan just trying to get by this guard and tap that back, as Melissa says. And
looks like he's going to be on the guard as long as he rolls away.
Okay.
So a couple options here, hey Melissa, for Team Duncan Wu. That the corner guard situation is still not great, but some opportunities there towards the middle. So
you can definitely stay on the offensive here, which is a good opportunity for Alex's team. You can tap that one straight back.
another option would be to peel the corner guard.
For sure, and that'd be a little more on the defensive side, is opening up that shot and sitting second. Welcome, Lizzie Bowles, 18.
Why aren't you here, Elizabeth?
Why aren't you in person?
This way is the play, I guess.
Looks like we're going to peel the corner guard.
Looking to make the run back here.
Oh, you're right, you're right.
Great shot.
Great
and
shot.
Also rolls the block off that 4-foot pad. So impressive shot there from Mr. Fenton. So Matthew Fenton is the second on this team. His brother Adam Fenton is the 5th player and was a part of the team to qualify here at the regional championship. So the whole team's been active in being a part of this process this year.
Troy can probably see about half that stone. Again, really important to try and keep your shooter in play once you make contact. So it's got to curl a little to get there. Oh, really close. Great shot. Just rolled a little too far. So huge opportunity here now for the Alex Duncan Blues team. Another one buried above the T line would be great.
We've seen a lot of draws in this game already, so as long as it's by the guard here, expect them to be close. The time here, timer.
Well, Well, the timers are on it. They are doing really good work.
It used to be Melissa, but we actually have a timer now. Now I feel terrible.
You got to go really hard to get this one.
Lots of
in.
handle on
16-1.
this rock. And,
Get it top 12, maybe. Yeah, full top 12.
nice shot.
Top 8. They dragged that one a long way.
So the question is, if he hit and rolls, is he shot rock? It may have been better to leave that one as they got a little closer in there, realizing it might not be bearing.
Be really careful with the weight here, Will. You don't want to overthrow this one. You want to throw that nice control weight and get a little finish at the end.
Yeah, the teams that have thrown that 11 to 11.5 have sure been involved in every shot with the sweepers this week. And, shot.
Good shot by Mac Alice there.
Alex's team is probably just as happy to see that back rock leave play, and chance here to just make a nose hit.
Yeah, love to force Connor Deane here in the third end.
A lot of people would want to make the hit and roll here, but you kind of force your opposition then into going around those guards. So it might be best here just to hit this on the nose. Really well managed rock there from the sweepers, and decision time here for Team Deane. What do you like, Melissa?
I think he can probably hit and roll off that one, Will, and roll even behind the blue guard.
Yeah.
And, roll in halfway.
I think
you get shot out of it.
I think they threw about 10 seconds or so on that last hit and roll, so I think if they just take the weight down a little bit here.
Yeah,
they did throw 11, sorry.
Yeah, I think a 10.5, 11 here.
Yeah, it's about the same weight then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, no pressure.
I'll be aggressive on the roll here. Can.
All right, so
Maybe it was a 10, so it was close to
I'll give you $5 if you drive.
a dangerous rock for Alex to probably leave there. But the other option is he's already got one sitting on the side 12 foot, so if he can get another one in, he's really got the force in play.
yeah, he's picked a throw through the hole here. It'll be interesting to see if that rock top 12 comes into play should you get through this hole. Unless he's playing the tap. What do you think? Maybe the tap?
I think he's playing the draw.
Yeah, because if he's playing the draw, I mean, there's so much curl late here. It'll be close to see if the weight's top 12, top 8, if it actually gets through that hole.
So he's taking a little less ice now, just outside edge of 8.
A couple other options here, maybe were a bit simpler if he is playing through the hole, but still, reasonable call here. There's a big hole there.
I think he's tight.
Oh, we don't play those Sunday.
Working really hard on this one, Will, to get by this top
Yeah, they're
center
going to have
guard.
to be on it after the guard, too.
Looks like it's going to tick the guard. It's perfect weight, 14.8, but just curly. Took that little, like, took about 2 inches less ice than you originally put down, and that looks like it was the difference. Weight was perfect.
All of a sudden, here, a chance for Connor to put a rock here above the tee line. Although he might be looking to hit here, which, no, looks like he's playing the draw. Very good, very good.
Yeah, I was going to say this is a huge opportunity for him now to stay on the offensive. Try and get a skipper's deuce here.
You have lots of room to pump it this way or this way.
Having some camera difficulties. We hired a new camera tech this week, so just working out the kinks.
No.
Thanks for your patience. He's fired.
His first name's Carlo, so you know. All right, there we go.
Go hard.
This one looks like they need to really work hard on getting by there.
So a split opportunity here too for
White looks pretty close.
Deane. Oh no, gets by still.
Oh, had to go to get it by.
Wide open from this side.
Almost came out the other side, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like it did here. So that hole is hit and roll here from Alex.
This is one of those situations I think you and I probably talk about a lot, Will, is on ice like this. You want to make sure you get by a guard by at least a foot on ice that curls this much.
Absolutely.
You get by that tight, I mean, it's a great call, great shot by Connor, but you get by, it comes out the other side. So.
And we're not saying you want to throw the rock in out. You still want to throw the rock straight, but you want to be positive and take enough ice, absolutely, and really get out to it. The break point on this ice is so late that if your rock's curling in the first half of the sheet, that's the operator, not so much the ice conditions. Great shot here from Alex. Really seems to have a good understanding on things right now. Early in the game, it looks consistent with what we've seen in the round robin. So great to see these teams.
Yeah, I suckered him playing something back of the house. He did.
Connor's got to be careful which, from our angle, we're a little to the side. The outer looks actually more difficult for the intern. But he needs to get nose hit. He has to sort it out.
Yeah, we were more interested on the bar than
Just a little bit less weight than we just saw from Alex.
Yeah, they got to go really hard here. This one's super curling.
So hit and roll out there results in a bit of an unforced error and steal a one for Team Duncan Wu here. Thanks for those of you joining us again here on your Friday night here. You're watching the U18 BC Championships here at the Wanda Fuca Curling Club at the West Shore Parks and Recreation Center. Melissa Sligo is here with you, along with myself, Will Sutton. So Team Deane versus Team Duncan Wu in tiebreaker action. The winner of this goes on to the semifinals. They will play Team Caldwell from the Vernon Curling Club. Sorry, Vernon, Invermere, and Kamloops Curling Club. Both finals will be broadcast live on Shaw Spotlight and on the Shaw YouTube channel with overhead cameras and other cameras, like 4 of them, so that'll be nice. Tune into that on Sunday at 10 a.m. and Sunday at 2 p.m.
Similar pattern to what we saw in the previous end. A nice tight center guard goes up by the Duncan team. Corner guard being thrown here by Sam Hudson.
Yeah, I went to the
Overall, I like the end plan of both these last end, Melissa. It was more of execution that came down to it there in that end there. Both teams kind of followed their plans for the first half of that end. And that's always your goal, especially on lead rocks where you have control of that, is you really want to stick with your plan. It'd be ideal to stick with your plan right through the whole end, but you can't do that if you don't do it with lead rocks. So it's always nice to see these young teams call the appropriate shots for the first 2 rocks at the end.
Very interesting. Very nice. It's fun. Yeah, it's the big issue right now. When they're focused, they're great. When they're not, I really had to crawl up and
What a great shot there by Daniel. Right, good position with the rear lead stones.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of pressure on the lead of your opposition to make 2 good ones as well.
You've got lots of tolerance there as the lead, but Daniel has a good understanding that behind the tee line is unacceptable there, and did a great job of putting those 2 rocks in place his team can use them.
Sorry.
So Sam here might just be coming a little deeper than they were hoping. So we'll see the decision here for Alex. Previous answer, he's gone around the center guard, but he's already got one pretty good there. So he's just going to throw another center guard. So scoreboard with a 2-point lead might say that this is a bit of an aggressive call, but Rocks are in a really good position. Oh, sorry, a 1-point lead. Great call.
Two.
You're just going to get Will some more coffee?
It's been a long day. How many draws?
Oh, the peanut gallery's here. Chris is here.
What's nice about this is keeps play towards the middle for Team Duncan move. Hey, Melissa.
Yeah. See what men's league.
Great positioning on that second center guard, Will. I don't know what you asked me earlier. I totally missed it because I was talking to Chris.
You're just talking way too much, Melissa.
Oh, sure. Got it. Our numbers are going up. We're at 26. Actually, we're going on the road. We're taking our comedy routine on the road.
It's the blue one.
Oh, really close to getting the one in the rings there. Good try by Troy.
Do you want to see a picture?
You're into it.
I don't know.
So Duncan's pretty much committed here, Will, to guarding this one that's just fighting the top 4.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with peeling the guard now is the other team would have an opportunity to sit 2.
Yes.
But I mean, that still is an option,
We were given 1 inch.
Kind of into it already, so
Yeah, agreed.
might want to just keep going for it. It's so early in the end, but
I didn't.
kind of committed.
We actually had 14 people in our class. Plus all desks. Yeah, the desks are first off the side.
Okay. Looks like he's going to be in a perfect position. 17-7 for that guard. Well, that's just unreal today. He's running. Can't say enough about it.
Exactly. And the rotation this team, Duncan was throwing, is really conducive to this type of play.
Absolutely.
So nice to see that they've either adapted or come in throwing the handle that's required.
So Troy being asked here to, I think, throw the double bump onto the one that's sitting in the rings.
So creative call here from Connor.
We asked for forward weight.
Okay, great.
And it was just like this, sales and rental sales. So each apartment unit would have 2 teams. So like one team would be
Too
in
much
the
food on the road, it's maybe the tiny bit high side. But it's really curling. Good audible, good plan B.
So probably going to see, what do you think, maybe replace that guard?
I do believe, yeah.
The whole school, right?
He's back right now, but
And this means Speed skater throwing.
I think he's going to stick with his game plan. It's probably the best call.
Yeah, we saw some of these guards in our earlier game, and actually saw the teams throw the intern some of the time on this guard because it was easier to get the rock on that side of the center line than necessarily keep it on this side of the center line. But either turn worked in this situation.
As long as you get out to the broom, you should be okay.
Shooting this one for weight right now, and a little bit of line, it looks like. Really well managed rock there, Melissa.
That was a great managed rock, and it was only 19 seconds. Well, hopped off. Good job by the boys.
Eighth draw for them, so like their last competition for some of them would have been the BC Winter Games, where you play at most their 6 games, so maybe 7 if you have a tiebreaker. So
This is game number 8.
so yeah, it's a good stepping stone event here, the U18s.
For Connor Deane's team, double peel here is not a bad idea. Trying to open up the forefoot and the scoring area a little bit more for himself.
Mac Ellis throwing the out-turn peel. Looks like he got that one. A little bit of a drift going there. Couple good options now. The left side of the sheet's looking pretty good, hey, Melissa, for team Duncan Wu.
Yeah, you need to decide. It's pretty much even on either side. You go around your own blue guard, or you go around the redstone on the right. The only thing about going around a zone is you don't want to set up any kind of double.
It's a little bit less room than that in-turn draw, but I'm worried you might draw it right into the hole, I guess, if you threw that in-turn draw. Or maybe just draw the button with that in-turn draw. Looks like we got a bit of a rocket here.
Yep, I think you're right, Will. Well, this is Mac's second stone. I kind of like the same shot that he pulled on Mac's first one here, the double peel.
There's a stat on the curl time app that I use once in a while, and it's, I think it's make after an opposition miss. You tag the little button when that happens. Really a key factor there, and that would be an example of not making after an opposition miss. But just always good to be aware of those moments when you're curling out there and thinking about what misses. And not that it's ever good to miss, but there's.
Mac will throw this one better. He threw it really straight.
Nice throw. Looking for the double peel here. No mistake.
What a great shot.
That's a good shot.
So decision time here for Alex. He can definitely try and keep guarding the same shot that he shot Roth, fighting top 4. Or he can play to the back one and just make sure he gets a second stone in play, count 2, and put the force back in play. Playing almost for the steal the whole end.
Yeah, I mean, you could even if you end up being fully top 8 here, as long as you overbury it, you're okay. Just don't want to leave a double, I guess, eh?
True.
Looks like you can probably see probably half of that blue rock.
Yeah.
Looks like, if anything, they might need to make this one curl a little bit, Melissa, but the weight looks good.
It's really good.
Really good team shot there and well managed. So Max just looking at both options here. Connor sort of went to play that hit and roll, but he's saying, hey, what about freezing here on this rock behind the T line?
Kind of
This
like
rock,
that call.
yeah, actually, Melissa, I think if that's blue rock in the 7 that just got thrown, if that had been fully back 8 foot, his option would have been there.
That's right.
For, but you know,
Yeah, I really like this call.
good call here, and a little bit of a mismanage there on the end for Team Duncan Lee, but nice shot nonetheless.
So we'll make sure our timer gets a time on this one for sure. We missed the last one.
Just throw the timer at I think commentators supposed to be paying attention to this one.
Gotta keep the fans happy. We lost viewers because our timer was kind of missing some shots.
I think with the long hand wave, though, you're probably off by at least a 10.
The weight's pretty close here, Will. It's got some curling to do. Got a lot of curling to do. Teeny bit heavy, maybe it's 14-2. It's a really good shot. This maybe.
I think with that 11-second weight they've been throwing here, or 10.5, he should be able to nose this.
As they say in the Briar, it's about a half a pound too heavy.
Yeah.
Don't know what that means, but it's a half a pound too heavy.
Well, you know how much a pound is, right?
No one knows. I know what a pound
Well,
is.
just half of that.
And how much weight's that? Is that a second? Is that a second?
It just sounds good, right?
No, it doesn't anymore. It sounded good when it first came out, but it doesn't sound good anymore. Everyone at the Briar.
So we're up to 30 here. This is a record here. So everyone sociables to celebrate 30 here on the broadcast.
Duncan Will got this one out just a little outside. He's trying really hard to get a curl out of it. Probably looking for more of an 11. It was about 10. So great opportunity here now for Connor Deane to throw the exact same shot that he threw on his previous one. Shout out to our timer who's finally back on her game. That's Terry Palanchuk.
Throw her completely out of the bus. Okay.
So if there's any missed times later in the game, we know where they're coming from. Got lots of fan support here as well.
Who's she gonna throw on the bus next? So I'll keep quiet.
We've got Chris Summers in the background beaking off.
Well, that's the least of the things. She's the bad thing she's ever said about me.
Oh, there's lots of time, Chris. Hi. So drop
It
a two
looks like
here.
a little bit less weight here, but looks like they'll be able to manage it in there.
Nice weight, 14-8. So make sure they don't lose this one. It's over curling a bit. Nice. And just a double check to make sure, and it looks like it's 2 on the board for Connor Deane and his team to take a 2-1 lead after 4. Off to commercial break.
Yeah, so we'll be back in about 5 minutes, folks.
Welcome back to tiebreaker game as the 2019 U18 BC Provincial Championships. I'm Melissa Silva and my partner in crime, Will, has gone away, so I'll actually get to talk for a minute. So we have Team Connor Deane versus Team Alex Duncan Blue, and it is 2-1 for Team Deane currently after 4 ends away. The U18 to play 8 ends. Each team gets 30 minutes of thinking time and 2 1-minute timeouts.
He's just going off like
Team Deane starting the 5th end of play with a tight center guard. And it looks like Duncan Blue team will throw the corner guard.
You're on.
And welcome back, Will Sutton, who just took a quick break. Get some coffee.
Yeah.
A little sharper on his game.
Coffee for that. Oh, sorry, I might throw Will under the bus if we're walking.
I might have mocked you while you were away. Maybe.
I mock him all the time. Wait till next week. Again, he'll be throwing me under the bus probably even more.
So that corner guard by Daniel didn't quite throw enough. It's kind of more of a center guard, so opportunity here for Sam to get another one behind those 2 guards. Love this one to be above the T line.
It's too hard.
Great weight, 15-2. Pretty much on the button.
Can't commit.
Alex having a think here of what he might want to do. Options, of course, are to freeze. You can also come with the wide out turn. Or maybe even looks like that ice will maybe try to tap.
What's he doing?
He's trying to. Oh, is he ticking? Maybe. Maybe come across the face and just tick that.
Yeah, you take the center guard. You can push it and roll and just kind of open up the center.
Or I guess you get to the outside too and roll into the ring.
True, yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks like Daniel was just a little bit wide and maybe a little more weight than perhaps Alex was looking for.
So I'm just going to call another center guard here and keeping these rocks in a straight line, really. So for those of you just joining us, this is tiebreaker action at the U18 Provincial Championships here at Montefiore.
Oh, they was on Friday. Yeah.
Winner of this will go on to play Team Caldwell in the semis tomorrow at 1 p.m.
And the winner of the semifinal will go on to play Team Sappho, who got divided the final due to their record.
Yeah, 6-1 record, and that final will be broadcast live on Shaw Spotlight as well as on the Shaw YouTube channel. Links to that will be able to be found on our CurlBC website or through the Shaw website. Just
A bit of cleanup time here for Matthew Fenton. Team got a little bit of trouble early here in the 5th end.
It was a little tight there. They were trying to keep it straight, but it slight oversweep there, and real close though. Just missed the double field. All of a sudden, all your rocks are in the corner, and the opposition's got 3 in a row on you here.
One of the really important things about throwing these kind of guards is you want to make sure that you take lots of ice. You don't need to be anywhere near really that center line. You don't want to overcurl it. You're in such a good position right now. You want to make sure you put this no tolerance and make sure you put this in a reasonable space.
Agreed, Melissa. Yeah, you guards really have proven to be a tougher shot on this ice, but they are a lot simpler, like you say, if you take enough ice and make sure you throw rotation and get out to that broom. Great placement here, a little bit of an overcurl, but likely going to see Alex still play a double peel here, and really just need to give himself a chance to score a point this in. So a couple doubles, and they should be out of the woods here.
Exactly what we just talked about when you do that, just before you do that guard, right? You can be anywhere on the right hand side of the center line. So
You got it, yeah. And you can finish it so much after the break point there, Melissa, that if you are, like you say, 18 inches wide, just get the outside, get your outside sweeper on it, and away you go.
yeah, if the weight is close, you want to keep the box as straight as possible for as long as possible. And really manage them that last 20 feet.
Then right around that second hog line here, that teams are able to start managing that rod for curl. So the boys here see a chance here to get rid of shot rock right now, and they're going hard on this from line.
Oh, what a shot!
I thought I shot the second one.
I thought maybe he was going to rub that second or third guard actually, but great shot, great
shot.
crushing.
And, Team Deane now is going to try to make the hit and roll, Melissa. See what they call for their hit and roll weight here.
We're looking around at 10.5 here. We'll get the sweepers on this one, keep them in play. Let's make sure our timer, no names mentioned, is ready for us.
Yeah, the timer's being it's going to be happening the rest of the game. Just because you missed once, listen to it.
It's like a nice 11-3, so that's really manageable, and this is going to be super close.
Really nice shot. You saw both sweepers on that rock on and off, and when you throw that kind of weight, you get to see that sort of thing, and it was really great to see the whole team involved. Congrats, everybody, up to 33.
Who's that?
Yeah. Here, I missed what happened.
Looks like he hit the second guard there, Will. Was it overthrow? The guard did what?
So you see they're waiting for it to curl, but once it gets to the break point, right about here, you'll see this rock really start to move and should have no problem getting this across the center line should they want to.
Looks like it's in a pretty good position. It's pretty tight. There's an opportunity here for a run.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised he didn't hit that and get it a little more buried. Option here just to make the run back. Some heat here coming from Eugene Fay and looking to make the run back. Maybe across the face.
Curl another inch or so he's got. So close. That was really close. Great try. So if you look at where the broom is now, Will, it looks like Connor's really emphasizing the amount of curl there. So he's taken that extra few inches of ice, which is really key when we again talk about guard placement.
And like you said earlier, it's all about guarding the outside of this rock. So keep this rock a foot off the center line on the right-hand side, and you're laughing. Not very easier said than done though when it curls like this.
So it'd be nice if he just throws that lighter weight and you can put the straight sweeper on it to hold it out as much as possible. If you have that extra weight, you don't really want to touch it.
Connor throws a little less rotation maybe than his opposition here. So in theory, this rock will get a little more finish after the break point.
You don't want it too tight either. You want to give another opportunity here for a run back. Pretty good position. It's run back opportunities there again.
Absolutely.
So they were trying to get it half tucked so he wouldn't have the shot, but didn't quite get there. Again, they could have probably left that foot higher and made this run back much tougher.
And if you happen to ever over curl this one a smidge, Melissa, you might redirect off that corner. So I say your tolerance here is to be on that on the left side of this rock. Lots of good things can still happen there with the heat these guys throw. Alex Duncan Wu from Port Moody and Royal City Curling Club. So a little full on this one, just going to get the peel.
Catch this.
Duncan threw about a 7.5 on that bottom hog. So great opportunity here now for Connor to replace his guard. You can see where Mac Alice is indicating where they want it, so maybe a 2 feet higher. Half tuck is what they're looking for. Another inch of ice here.
It's a real Christmas tree there, Melissa.
It really is. Well, the sweeper's indicating this one's got enough weight. We took that extra inch of ice, so it's going to be on the outside of this blue one here for.
You might be hitting 3/4 of this blue one, Melissa.
Yeah, that extra inch and the extra weight
So with
is
that,
a lot straighter.
doesn't quite bump it into the rings, but may see an opportunity here for the blank now from Mr. Duncan Wu.
That one had 2 seconds more weight, Will, so that's just why it ran so much straighter.
He went out a little further and he ran straight.
So as you say, there looks like he can hit what he can see here, and he should be able to like the
Just to clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta watch that front rim on the bigger two.
Go full again.
Looks like it's just on release there, Melissa, again, yeah.
Trying really hard to get it to curl. Just with that little full release, unfortunately, it goes right by. So it's a steal of one for Connor, Deane, and his team from Tunneltown and Duncan Curling Clubs.
Yeah.
We were down 5.
Refreshing.
Prize.
So we're going to skip the commercial break and get right into the fourth end action here.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about that.
For the sixth end.
Sixth end, sorry.
bars. Check is doing great.
You'll have to give a shout
Multitasking here is tough when you are on a budget.
You'd never know it.
Got chocolate bars propping up the old iPad, so it's all good here at the Wanapeka Learning Center. So with a 2-point lead now, Connor Deane's team goes into top Bigfoot and forward guard thrown by Duncan.
For those of you just joining us here in the sixth end, a reminder that our finals will be broadcast live on Shaw Spotlight and the Shaw YouTube channel. This will be on sheet F. We'll have overhead cameras and a couple cameramen down on the ace level, so it'll be a really great broadcast, and hope you can all join us there on the live stream or through your Shaw provider.
Two great shots there by Sam Hudson for the Deane team, so opportunity here now for Daniel. He's threw a great corner guard on his first, so second one here, trying to get it buried around, preferably above the tee line. Take the play away from the center.
Line looks great, Melissa. Just a little bit down for weight.
Great rushing. That went a long way.
So just with the 2-point lead, it looks like Team Deane's going to continue to put pressure on and try to keep play towards the middle. It looks like they've called a one-zone guard here. Would there be any other options, Melissa, other than the guard here?
Sometimes you'll see teams actually choke off the corner as well, Will.
Yeah.
Because you know that's probably what Alex is going to do if he doesn't decide to get up there and peel. So depending on where this rock is, but that is another option. The only thing is if you don't chalk it off well enough, you can set up a double.
And they're doing the other option, actually, sorry, that would be good here, is to play right into the
Play
top
right
4 foot.
around, that's right.
And with the amount of curl here that you have on Cody Hall's ice, there's no question this rock can get fully buried with the appropriate weight.
Pretty good shot. I think it might be edge to edge, but it's a really good shot. It's good weight. For the winner of this game again, just for you joining us, we'll go on to play Team Colway tomorrow in the semifinal at 1 o'clock here at the Wanapeka Rec Center. And we will be live on the Ustream.
Yeah, the Ustream will be doing the women's game tomorrow. So if you want to catch the men's game, one of their teams will be streaming that, I'm sure, between Team Caldwell and the winner of this game. But Melissa and Corey Chester will be 1 p.m. doing the women's game live for you, with updates, I'm sure, of the men's. And Melissa?
And that will be Team Taylor versus Team Douglas.
That's good.
Great shot.
Very good shot from Matthew Fenton, chipping away here in the sixth end of this game. Trailing by 2 with hammer here. Team Duncan Wu really needs to ensure they have a realistic chance of scoring a point here.
There's 2 options here for Connor Deane team here. Well, they could actually put a guard on that rock that's in the edge of 4 foot. But he's elected to come in again and try and get top 4 buried behind that center guard. But there's really nothing on the right-hand side of the sheet right now. It's really hard to get anywhere near the button. So all the play will be on the left-hand side at this point.
Yeah, this is one of those shots where those 2 guys sweep and really have a lot of the control on whether it's a good outcome or a bad outcome. Because if they're to put this rock on the top button, per se, probably not the best outcome in the world.
Exactly. You want to make sure you don't set up a double control here.
Good job by them to leave that rock a little higher. Alex is looking at a run back here maybe. Might also have a little option to just play a softer weight hit and roll on top of that rock on the edge of the 4-foot. Looking to just play the run back though and open things up. This is a good call.
Yeah, that was a perfect placement actually by Troy. Can't really hit it and get the double or the roll either. So.
It's coming. It's coming.
Great call by Alex.
Couple of great shots from the second man there, and Eugene Fay giving a little love to his second there. It's nice to see those guys are having fun. So here we are in the sixth end, and seeing some great shot making from both teams.
So you can see where where Connor Deane is putting the broom for Mac Ellis. So this one, you know this one's going to come hard, Will. They're going to try and take the curl right out of the shot. There's not a huge support there for sure. About a rock and a half probably.
We got a little straighter if anything. Nice throw.
That was not easy with him out. Great.
So Alex looking now at the hit and roll, but based on the scoreboard, you might see the team look at the draw as an option too.
Yeah, it's not like the draw here. Try and get one more in the 4-foot area and make Connor Deane chase you.
So as good as these teams are tactically, this is some of those situations here where you really got to learn this still and go through it. And may in hindsight realize that this hit and roll is a little bit of a tougher shot than the draw is. That's really the rationale on why you might want to play the draw here versus the hit and roll.
Yeah, you want to play the higher percentage for sure. Whoa! She's just getting so far back.
So for Team Deane, it's really about just sticking around here, hey Melissa? You saw, you kind of got to tell there a little bit that the other team's hitting, so either hit and roll, buried is fine, but hit and stick, you'll probably continue to see the hit happen there. Which,
yeah, and if you're going to play the hit and roll, you can actually be pretty aggressive on it. You've got 3 guards up there to try and hold behind.
Yeah, just about sticking around.
It looks like it's really going. They lost it. Just a miscall there.
So it looked like a little less weight than what we just saw from the Duncan Wu team. So
yeah, it's about a 10.5, so it's probably looking for about a 10. A great opportunity here for Alex Duncan Wu's team to get one fully buried behind the center guard.
Looks like they're on it for weight early. The line looks great. A little bit of room, if anything.
Really going hard trying to get this one to the top of the rings.
So, nice throw, just a little bit off on the kick there for Alex. Is a splittable rock, Melissa, if it came down to it, but obviously a little bit light.
I like where Connor's putting the room on this one, Will. Lots of room to get behind that guard strong by the Duncan Wu team. Don't want to come anywhere near it, as you say, because it is slippy.
What's the time on this one?
So sweepers are not looking at early, which is never a good sign on this keen ice.
No. Might dig in the back. Never a doubt.
So when we talk about tolerance, Melissa, if that rock had been, say, a tight guard, would that have been maybe a more acceptable option?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
you want to be able to take this shot away from Alex. You don't want to give him that option for the split or the come around above to the foot area. So tolerance is definitely a little tighter and lighter on that one. That's one thing Alex wants to think about when he's throwing the shot too, Will. He doesn't want to even look at that red stone. He wants to put this one in the 4-foot area.
Agreed. Hopefully he went to school on the hog-to-hog time, and that's about it.
Yeah, he's taking about 6 inches less ice.
It looks a little hot, too, off the bat.
Weight's a lot better. It's about 21. Called by Eugene there trying to get the one back as far as they could towards the other red stone because it wasn't curling enough. So it looks like he's playing the hit and roll. Try to avoid the red stone back 12.
We've seen a couple outturns in these last few innings from Alex, and it's not quite thrown as much as some of those ones are expecting, but get something really out of that shot there.
They had the right idea trying to bring it right back.
Absolutely, great line call there from Deane. Connor Deane now taking a look from the hack. I believe he's playing this across the face, but might have just tightened up the ice to play the rip-a-roo and just rip it all out of there. Because he is to play the rip, you could see that split coming to time, Melissa.
Is he not playing across?
No, he's playing across the face. Sorry, now that I see the weight he's thrown there. Apologies.
This one's outside as well, but that extra weight, it does run a little bit straighter.
Gotta make a decision.
Yeah, you gotta go one way or the other here.
Nice line call there from Mr. Mac Ellis. So, Alex is looking at the options there for the tick. So you turn around though and look at the scoreboard and what's really necessary right now in the game, hey Melissa?
Yeah, and I don't think this one is really possible with that one that's full 12.
Agreed.
Yeah, if it was back a little farther maybe. But it looks like he's maybe thinking about taking one here in the 6th end.
Yeah, and I think that's a good call.
Strategy. You definitely could blank as well if you wanted to.
With the blank here in 6, the goal would then be to score 2 or 3 in Saturday.
You had your chances, that's for sure. So it looks like he's going to elect to take one. A nice wave by Alex there, great shot. Almost identical to the previous one.
So after 6 ends, it's 3-2. Connor Deane leading Alex Duncan Wu. Team Deane with last round. So up one with the hammer here, Melissa. Team Deane is calling around the center guard here. Some other teams this week, you might have seen them take a different approach here. What would the other option be in this situation?
Get caught up here.
Sorry, up. They're up here with the
They could
hammer.
go to the wings.
Going to the wings,
Yeah.
exactly. So the real miss here is missing this rock behind the tee line, and in this case, it's a little even deeper than that. So right back 8 foot. So that kind of shot's really going to be helping your opposition there. So.
After, it's nice to say on the offense, but when you're in kind of control of the game at this point, you're up one with hammer and seven, with 2 to go. Yeah, play into the wing. Then your opposition has to make the decision what they're going to do, right? Are they going to play to the center, or are they going to try and play and maybe come home with 3 steals?
Kind of all comes down to your team DNA.
Yeah. So not where they wanted that rock for Team Deane, so opportunity here now for Daniel to try and get this one around the guard and above the tee line.
Another option here might have been to throw another center guard, but this was a good option too, just looks a little hot.
Definitely hot on this one.
What you would see a lot of teams also play in this situation would be the tick shot. So you're up with hammer, and you've got lots of room to the right of the sheet to kind of tap that rock. So a couple different options here, but Team Deane taking the approach to continue to attack and go around the center guard.
This one looks like it's got a little better weight.
Yeah, keeping this one in front of the tee line very nicely.
Very key here. That's a fantastic shot.
Sam Hudson there makes a beauty.
So Team Duncan Lou would be very happy to try and force Connor Deane to a single point here in the 7th and take hammer coming home down 2. Definitely be on in their game plan.
So just looking for the freeze here, eh, Melissa?
Correct.
So the weight looks really close.
Got some curling to do. We'll hit the break point here shortly.
Sweepers did a really nice job there of being patient on this one.
So it's got a little more weight, I think, than the previous.
A little deep.
Yeah, unfortunately not going to the back of the rings.
So Connor looking at the scoreboard, seeing going for the peel here.
I think this is a good call, Will. You always look at what is your danger rock up there, and definitely for a team that's up 1, you don't want a center guard.
Absolutely. Based on this call, maybe the take shot or something like that might have been something to consider.
For sure.
But yeah, absolutely love this call.
Great shot by Troy. No mistake. So Alex is going to have he's going to call a timeout and get coach out there to have a chat with him.
This is a really good chance here, not only to talk about this shot, to talk about the next 2 ends and what kind of things need to happen for both teams to get the outcome they want. So hopefully the coaches use this as a good opportunity to not just talk about this shot, but talk about the next two ends of shots. We're just going to take a little break here while the timeout takes place. Feel free to share the stream with your friends to get us up to that 40 mark. We're sitting at about 30 right now. So you see Coach Fuji Miki just meeting here with his team, discussing the options here for this timeout. So obviously Fuji's coached and played at all ages and stages of the game, but great to see him working with his team. He's been coaching Eugene for about 3 or 4 years now and coaching his team for about 2 seasons. So it's really great to see our elite coaches coaching these developmental teams, and an elite coach beside me here, Melissa Saligo. She's helping with the commentary this week. Corey Chester on Shaw, and we were just looking around here, and her banner from the 2001? No, 1990. Sorry, 1990-91 Scott Tournament of Hearts Championship there. So Julie and Jody Sutton, no relation to me, along with Melissa Carey Wilms and Elaine Dake Jackson, won the provincials and nationals that season. You remember that, Melissa?
Yeah, it was yesterday. Now our camera tech's got to get back into focus here.
There's actually 4 banners up here with Melissa's name on them. They were the 90, 91, and 92 Canadian champions as well, for those of you that don't know. So they had some success in a very short amount of time there. Melissa and some of her other athletes from the area also did a panel for the U18 athletes this week that was really well received. Alex Horvath and Harley Sandwich. He was the fourth person on the panel.
Todd Troyer.
Todd Troyer, and I'm sorry I've stolen the microphone from you.
Missed a good shot there, Will. So they elected to play the hit. They could have thrown another center guard and make Connor Deane's team waste a few more shots on the table. But if he can hit and roll on this, actually, it looks like red Liverpool line too.
Forced to 1 here is a great option if you can get there.
Yeah, by playing that hit, if you didn't make it perfect, you definitely give up an opportunity for 2.
So for those of you interested, we're 8 away from 40, so keep sharing. Okay. Troy Cowan here.
Troy Cowan.
Just little one, and all of a sudden, Team Duncan Woo's going to be sitting 4 here in a moment. The good news for Team Deane is there are no guards up, so if you make your last one, their steal shouldn't happen. But again, a lot of blue rocks in the rings behind the tee line.
It's out wide, you know. It's out wide, he jams it.
You may even see Team Deane Melissa abandon sort of the real idea and maybe throw a freeze here on their next, or what do you think?
I don't think so. I don't think yet.
Oh, he's down there.
Looks like that was curling early and a little bit of scares in the crowd, but the sweepers managed that okay.
Yeah, I think Connor's going to probably try and get rid of a couple of as well first.
I agree, Melissa, and but maybe later in the end, if you realize you're not getting the blank, there's really no sense in continuing to hit.
Yeah, I agree, but it's just Max first.
Yeah, for sure. Third's first here, for those of you just tuning in.
I have a feeling this one might be moving a little.
Max, there's no problem throwing the high hard ones.
Want to make sure you throw it straight.
It looks a little tight, I think. Is he rolling out?
So hoping to stick around here and at least force a hit out of Team Duncan Woo. Mission accomplished on that front.
We're 7.5.
So basically, you let this one, you just clip this one and just clip that off.
So Eugene here looking for the nose hit. What it looks like is 10.5 to 11.
Went to this one, hit this one out, and the red one go to one.
This one's really curling well. Just gonna get a piece here. Yeah, we was just down.
Yeah, it looks like it was a little bit down there, Melissa.
So unforced error and a great break here for Team Deane.
So nose hit here will
I would say look at
goal.
these 2, maybe all.
Main thing is here to save your shooter and stick around because you have an opportunity for 2.
It's a little fuller than the first. Get it to nose and be perfect. It's really close. It's a great shot. Really awesome shot. Looks
All
like
of a
red's
sudden,
line 2.
Ken turns around with some rocks, a miss and some rocks behind the tee line.
So Alex is going to be looking to hit and roll towards those 2 rocks that are sitting behind the tee line and try and cluster the rocks closer together. Maybe have something on his second. Okay, you're looking for about a 10 here. 10.5 very most to try and
Looks
get
really
the hit
close.
and roll.
Looks very close.
Brushers want to just stay on it because it's going to snap.
Yep.
This is really close.
Just a timely shot from Alex Duncan Woo. Get the force on all of a sudden.
What a great shot.
Lots of pressure shots in this game, and these kids have come to play, Melissa.
That was fantastic. But it looks like Connor's going to hit maybe.
I don't know if we got a hog time on that.
10 and a half.
10 and a half.
Timer is on it. Oh, you're doubting the timer, Will? So a little high side here, Will. He might get them all going. He'll be happy to blanket send as well.
I know.
If you could have picked an option for this team in the 7th end, I would have picked blank. That was my choice.
Yeah, so it's pretty close. What a fantastic shot by Connor Deane. He only threw 7 on it.
7.
So great shot making here by both teams.
So even though this is just an open draw, it's still a chance for both teams to go to school here a little bit and see what draw weight here is in the 7th end of the game. Being the only team out here, you really want to stay informed as the game's going on and change with the ice.
Timeout being called by Connor Deane and his team. Obviously the options here, Will, are they have to decide as a team, do they want to blank and be up 1 with hammer, or do they want to take 1 and be up 2 without?
Yeah, and one thing we know about the 5 rock rule, Melissa, is it's a challenge to defend against it. So this would be a situation where you definitely want to blank the end and keep the last rock advantage. Other option obviously would be to take a point here, but then all of a sudden you're giving us a bit of control in the game. We've definitely seen 3-enders increase this season with last zone advantage. So I think my opinion here would be to play the peel.
I agree. I think you want to have the hammer coming home.
It's interesting how you want to have some teams that are much more in your 10th and
We've got some interested parties here watching. Over in the corner here, Will, if you want to, our cameraman, we've got Team Sato and Team Caldwell watching the game. Team Caldwell and Team Sato, you can wave to the camera.
that's interesting.
The winner again playing Team Caldwell tomorrow in the semifinal, and the winner of the semifinal will be going on to play on Sunday against Team Sato. So it looks like it's the peel, Will.
Yeah, Cody went out there and talked things through with his team. And, good call here from the team, and mission accomplished.
Nice.
And we're back.
Cody, he's smart.
And we didn't want to miss a minute of this final end here, so we skipped the commercial break. And,
Fastest commercial break ever.
Well, the sponsors will not
I need some out of ad for the families and mothers sitting over here. I'm tall for my sweater.
Like you said,
It's a U18 event, so no alcohol on the table. All right, so here we go. It is the final end at the moment, the 8th end of the tiebreaker game of the U18 championship.
So in the 7th end, you would have noticed that Team Deane went around the center guard in this circumstance. They're now going to the wing, so maybe that's something they talked about as a team in their timeout, or maybe that's just based on the end. They make a different call there, but just a different approach to what they did in the 7th end of the game.
This is a good shot. I mean, there's 3 options as we've talked about, Will.
I love this approach, for
me
sure.
Too. There's the wing, there's the tick, and there's the come around and get to the 4-foot first. You want that one a little deeper, but it's still in a good spot.
A lot of teams would have played the tick in that situation. So these are always tough ones for the lead here. You always have a lot of tolerance to your shots, but when you're asked to throw that one zone guard in the 8th end, just over the hog line, it's a little scary. But
it is. Yeah. Especially in that first rock, it's kind of finishing kind of in no man's land, kind of in zone 2 area there. You want it either tight or high.
If Team Duncan Wu can hug the center line here, they're going to be satisfied.
Working really hard to get it over. And again, Will, it's a tough shot.
Really tough place to be in there, and inches from a great shot, but obviously not what you want.
You have to get it.
We talk so much about tolerance, and it's so much easier said than done, but that's a shot that just doesn't have a ton of tolerance to it, but obviously in play is essential.
Looks like he's playing around the 4-foot area now, so go to the side again.
No big deal, but 36, everybody. So
Will's getting excited.
You gotta have outcome goals, and that's one of them tonight.
Let's share the stream.
Great sweeping room position there from Mac Ellis to get that rock behind. Really good understanding of what he's trying to do there.
That was a 56. Top 12. You make Will's name, you get to 40.
4 more people. So right now, if you're Team Duncan Wu, you're still happy. You've got a rock top 12 that's for all intents and purposes center guard, eh, Melissa?
Absolutely.
So it's about rock position here.
There's no doubt I would imagine what Connor Deane's team is going to do at this moment. They're going to step up and start peeling away.
She loves him, so it's
You don't want to take any chances here, Will. I mean, get one here. You don't need to try a double peel right away.
Oh, yeah.
If you're just tuning in, a reminder that tomorrow's semifinals at 1 p.m. will be live on the Ustream with Melissa Sligo and Corey Chester, and our finals will be live on Sunday at 10 and 2 p.m. live on Shaw Spotlight on the Shaw live stream page. So lots of opportunity to watch BC's best U18 curlers battle it out here at Wandatuka Curling Center over the next couple days. So it's time now, in Alex's opinion, to go right into the 4-foot. Could throw another guard here. Hey, Melissa, what do you think? What's the best option? Or are both options good?
I think both options are okay, but I do think it's a little bit early. I would still throw another guard. You never know with those 2 red stones if there's a jam possibility, so I would definitely throw a guard here.
Sure. Matthew Fenton. It's all about keeping this rock in front of the tee line.
Matthew's got great rotation on this rock. It's about 14.5. It'll stick in the rings.
Gets a little bit out of it, stays in there 4-shot rock, but Connor Deane won't hesitate to go peel the threatening rock here, which is that center guard.
Yeah.
And no mistake there by boy, what a great shot.
And so we've talked about this ice curling as much as it is, Melissa. So that rock in the top of the 12-foot could be a guard for Team Duncan later in this end. So it's really about preserving two things: preserving that rock in the top 12-foot to maybe use later in the end, and continue to throw the center guard here.
Yeah, throw it right in line if you can.
Yeah, exactly. Don't want to leave an angle where you can maybe kill both those rocks, because that would sort of make things really tough on you.
On you guys.
If I get it just across center if they can. Good.
Yeah, nice execution there from Eugene. So we're 2 away, folks.
Come on, people, make Will stay.
So trying to make them both go away here.
I've been a little tight on this one. They're working super hard to keep it straight. That's a great shot.
Well swept.
Job done.
Sorry, they were playing the peel all day there. I thought at first it was a little tight. It looked like they were playing the run back.
Alex can call the exact same shot at a high center.
Yeah.
Don't know if there's time troubles, but he really got that one off in a hurry. Couple nice guards here from Eugene Feda. Always nice to make your last couple in 8, and did that.
I don't want to get Will's hopes up. We are 1 away. Come on, Kelly, don't you have a friend?
You're not growing, you're shrinking.
I'm watching that more than I'm watching the game right now. Right, straight peel here, looks like, from Mac Ellis. And looks like Alex is going to call another timeout. Have a chat with his coaches to see where he's going to put his first rock and potentially his second rock.
So great execution from both teams here, and they're simple shots, but other than that guard that was hogged, both teams have been all over this end and had a really good 8th end here. So that's great to see.
Well, a lot of pressure for these kids.
For sure.
You know, in this tiebreaker game, it's do or die, and winner goes on.
I remember as an athlete, Melissa, hearing you talk about performance on demand, and these are those situations you only get a few of them each year to test that out, and really nice to see these kids doing just that.
Good time to say that we're now 2 away. Might have been something Will said, but you know, come on back. So a couple options here, Will. They could try and they could throw the high guard again, and but there's a chance that Connor Deane would ignore it and come in right away because they are not shot rock.
Being that rock is so tight, that top 12 one, I really like one more center guard. They probably peel it, and then you play the draw into the rings. But I think it's about if you play into the rings right now, I think the trouble is you're going to see Connor Deane run that red one into wherever you throw your rock. So I think it's a good approach here might be to throw one more guard. You'll see Team Deane probably peel it. But we'll see what Fuji thinks along with the team. And
but I'm wondering too, Will, that if they do throw a high guard, does Connor just say forget it and get in there first? And that puts all the pressure last on Alex's last shot.
Right. So if your goal is to get the other team to play a shot that's not along the end plan, that might be worth the risk. So obviously you never want to play for a miss, but if you can get them to do that, it might be worth it.
Yeah. So it depends what you want Connor to throw, right? So you want to throw a draw or hit. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah.
Great game. Another low-scoring game, but lots of excitement.
Yeah, and lots of time for both teams here. We just had a time check, so 3 and 5 minutes left for each of the teams, so all good.
Just a reminder that Melissa Saligo and Corey Chester will be live tomorrow at 1 p.m. back here on the Ustream Thrill BC live stream channel. Ustream, you're here, so you know where to go.
I've been surprised. They missed one, but then they threw a great second shot.
So interesting here, Will, they've actually let them take the other turn. We've seen the outturn numerous times.
Are they coming right in?
They are. They're on top 4. So I think one of the reasons they're probably picking this way just because that center guard, or that guard top 12 is over on the center, but they've seen the outturn probably 20 times so far, and I'm not sure how many interns you've seen. So
back 4 would be a reasonable option here too.
Yeah, you don't want it to
get some
high,
separation.
actually.
Oh no, they have called the guard.
Oh, they changed. Oh, one of the kids had indicated top 4. So
I like this as long as it gets over the hog line.
I think this might have been a change in plan here after we released it. If this is really high, I think you can expect maybe Connor to go around it.
Yeah, it was a year as a captain.
So decision time for Connor Deane is what rock is threatening, and that one zone guard doesn't look like a real threatening rock. However, combining it with that red rock in the top 12 so it sure makes them both a threat.
We probably would have had this conversation with their
I like the intermediate.
Cody Tanaka, but they also have the option to have another timeout if they want. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Probably could have saved this because I think there were only been 2 options here.
So what do you like, Melissa?
I'm going to ask you the same question.
So my thought is, even though that center guard is so high, the combination of it and the red rock is a threat. So I do think peeling the center guard still makes sense here. Maybe running it into your red is a good option. So throw it hard at the in-turn and try to make the double. You got a pretty good angle there, so you could give that a go. The other option is to draw, but I don't think the draw sort of supports what your plan's been the whole end, and you might find yourself facing the loss with that too. So either way, you'll probably find yourself facing the loss here, though, the last one.
I agree. I fully agree with what you just said about your end plan here for the whole end has been to keep it as clean as possible. However, you also have to remember how much pressure. It's all about the pressure, right? Dealing with the pressure of the last shot. So you can make a good one on your first, and you put all the pressure on your opposition, and I think that's what I would have elected to do.
So
I may
looks
elect to come with the intern though.
Right.
I think I would probably throw the intern.
So Connor here, going to ignore those rocks and throw the outturn draw, probably looking to make this top 4 foot. If he happens to draw back 8 though, it's not the end of the world, eh?
Nope. The only thing about the outturn one is if you see the way the 2 guards are lined up right now, the intern path to the button is practically perfect, whereas the outturn is not. So I would really elect for the intern.
And you just do want to be careful that this doesn't choke off your ability to use this one rock for your last one.
Correct. So hopefully they've gone to school and getting some times and they have an idea of what it's running. Making sure it hasn't tightened up here at all.
3 of them have 3 more years. So
looks like we got to go on this one a bit. Looks like it's got to go really hard on it.
It's by the guard.
Come on, got to go and get a shot rock if they can.
So, it looks great, but I really think that's sort of helping Team Duncan move here.
I totally agree with you. It needed to be either top 4 buried or my top button buried, or it needed to be wide open so that he had an opportunity to use it on his next.
So looking with that guard being so high, we're really looking to see this rock come across the center line and maybe draw the left edge of the 4 foot.
I agree. If you can overshoot the center line, it's going to be really hard for Connor to even make contact with it with a short run back.
It's going to go sideways and come across the sideline.
So the guard up there really isn't in play, and just looking to.
The key here, though, Will, is that Connor did get shot rock. So
sure.
right now he's just looking at probably if Alice makes a shot, he's only going against the tie.
Nice shot from Connor Deane there.
Line's pretty good on this. We gotta go for weight maybe. Weight's really good. Got a curl.
Probably need to switch here and make this one
Yeah,
curl as much as you
switch.
can.
The weight is perfect if they can get this to bend. What a great shot by Alice. Fabulous shot.
So, Team Duncan should be really proud of the way they played tonight and finished up with a beauty there.
That was a fabulous shot.
Getting by that guard by about 8 inches. Connor's just going to come down with half weight here.
Yeah, if they can just get by the guard, that's the first and foremost. Take that time here and just attack. What a great
So the
shot
key
by
here
Alice.
is throw the appropriate weight, you know.
Line's pretty close. It's all about the weight. He looks good, Will. If you get it by, he looks really good. What a great shot.
Great shot. Really well played game.
Great game played by both teams. So now we will see Connor Deane take on Eric Caldwell in the semifinal game of the
Team Taylor taking on Rebecca Douglas. See you tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.